Hello friends, good evening. Law. When we just think about the subject law, it's like a burden on our shoulder. It's like 10 to 12 books are upon our shoulder that is not letting us to move around, right? So it's like a very difficult subjects and all the sections, chapters, oh God. But before entering into the subject, we have to clear some of the basic knowledges that is very crucial before entering into the subject, right? So I have just come with some of the basic concepts of law. Let's see what is that. 4 things are there: act, articles, sections and rules. So we just get very much confused that what is the difference between act and rules? What are articles and sections? Isn't it? So let's see that what are those one by one. At first, just look at this. I have written here, at first comes the act. After then, just the next steps comes the articles. And in the third step comes the sections. So in this way, we will move. Right. First of all, what is an act? So before that, it is very important to know that what is a bill. The bill is a draft of legislative proposal. So it is just a draft. So let's take an example of it, a layman example. In our school days, we often think about that writing a letter to the principal. What is that letter? Absent letter. So before that, what we used to do, we just write a draft letter just to show it to our parents or father or mother or anyone who will guide us that how to write the letter. But before that, we just used to first write the letter at a glance and then show it to our elder ones. And if they just put their thumbs up, then only we will send the letter to the principal. Right. So we just basically what we used to do, just make a draft. Whatever my ideas are coming into our mind, I'm just writing that on a letter and just showing it to an elder person for his consent. So bill is also like a draft. Which draft? Of legislative proposal. Legislative means who makes the laws. Okay. Now, when this bill is presented before for approval, whose approval? The bill is first presented before the law-making bodies, which is also known as legislature. Okay. So the bill is presented before the law-making bodies for their approval. This is the first step of making the act, right? So when the law-making bodies make the approval for the same, approval made by legislature. Okay, the law-making bodies have made the approval that yes, we can finally send the bill for making the act. So this is the first step, that the law-making body will approve the bill. Then what they will do? They will send that bill after approval to president. That will be presented before the president. Okay. See that we have seen that it is correct. So according to you, what is your decision? You just give. So now the president will give the consent, his consent or order. He may make his thumbs up that it's okay. The bill can become an act. He can thumbs up or he can thumbs down. So final decision will be based on the president, that what he is going to do with the bill. whether he is accepting the decision of the lawmaking bodies or not. So then it will come in the form of act. If it is accepted by the president that the bill should become the act, then only it will come in form of the act. When it has come once, then the act will just become a law or a statute. Both are same. It will finally become the law. The act will become the law, and that should be maintained by each and everyone. Right? So finally, what is the process? Finally, we have moved how a bill is passed and how the bill will form an act. So at first, it will be presented before lawmaking bodies or legislature, whatever you can call, for approval. First they will approve, then they will send that bill to the president. It is the second step. Then if the president accepts it, then only it will come in the form of act. Okay. So finally it will become the law of the country. Right? Now, that is the act. It is very much clear to you. Next, I am moving towards that what is article. A written instrument, it is like a written instrument, just like a contract. Contract of partnership, whatever is there. I am making a contract with you. So, like a contract, it is a written instrument that contains different rules and regulations that how the contract should be made between you and me. There will be different rules and regulations that will be set under this article that are further divided into sections. So what we come to know, at first the act is there, under that comes the articles in which there will be different rules and regulations which will govern the act, and further it will be divided into sections. So now, section is what? It is used to represent a specific part or provision of an act. Just it is used to represent a specific part of an act, because it is not very much easy to remember each and every things whatever is in the act. So that's why some specification is needed, that go to the section number 5, you will get this, go to section number 6, you will get this. So for that reason, so can we say that suppose it is a book, okay, it is your law book, right? So here there are many chapters. So we can say the law book is an act that are subheaded by chapters. Chapter number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this 1, 2, 3, 4 are articles. And when we are moving towards what is there in chapter number 1, 1.1, lesson 1.1, lesson 1.2, like this. So this 1.1, 1.2, these are all sections. So I think it is very much clear to you all that how the acts, articles and sections are being divided. Right? Now, the next comes act versus rule. We often get very confused about the fact that what is an act actually and what is a rule. Right? So let's see. Just take a simple example before that. A target is being given to class 10 students. Okay. Of a school, the name of the school is XYZ. What target has been given by the school XYZ to class 10 students? That in board examination, the average percentage of marks should be minimum 85%. So average percentage of marks of the whole class should be minimum 85%. The school has given the target to class 10 students. So there everyone is involved. Who will teach the students? The teachers. So the teachers are also involved there. Here, Mr. B, a teacher of that school named XYZ. She has formed a rule that every student needs to show their homework every day. She just made a rule that every student should show their homework every day so that they study properly and then get ready for the examination. Finally, the goal is to achieve the 85% of marks, right? Now, here we can say that this is the act to get minimum 85% marks. This is the act. But to get that, whatever the teachers have to do, that is, she had made the regulation there, she had made the rule that every student needs to show their homework every day. So, this can be called as rule. So now, you can see here, the rules are not rigid, but it depends upon the enforcing entity. Who is enforcing it? Who is enforcing the act? That how strict it is. XYZ here is very much strict. It has said that the student should achieve minimum 85% of average marks. Right. Now, and what steps it has taken to ensure proper implementation of the rule. So now it totally depends upon XYZ. First, XYZ has told it that yes, you have to get that, and for that reason the teachers have taken decision that the way how to reach at that point, right? So rules, these are guidelines that are defined in the act. These are the guidelines that how to achieve that particular destination, right? That must be followed for the enforcement of the act. So that should be followed, the rules should be followed to enforcement of the act. A rule is a guide for conduct. Actually, a rule is a guide for conduct. So you have to achieve a particular thing. So how you will go to achieve the particular thing? That is the rule. Just take an example from law point of view. The Companies Act 2013, you know that very well. The Companies Act 2013 is an act. It is an act. It has several rules to govern its operations. It has several rules to govern its operations, like Companies Incorporation Rules 2014. So the Companies Act 2013 is an act, and Companies Incorporation Rules 2014 is a rule that helps to govern the act, right? So the rules cannot be made separately. It is always dependent on the act. It cannot move independently. Okay. So now I think that the concept is very much clear to you. And thank you so much. Have a good day.